So wouldn't you know it? Senior civil servants having a party. Well, nobody's surprised because it's happening every day of the week in Leinster House. They're probably a big Christmas party. Only for, in this country, the media are just idiots and they won't report on anything. Unless it's something to do with COVID cases or anything. That's something to frighten people. They don't want to do this because it doesn't look too good in them. Let's be fair. These Department of Foreign Affairs individuals, they're probably getting around 700, 600 euro a week for being there, which is that's basically what you get as a high up civil servant. You get 600, 700 euro, 800, most maybe 1,000 a week. Some of these people here on this photo. Not a care putting this up, not a care. Everybody else in the country was locked down. You know, civil servants apparently, they can flock the rules and no such thing as social distancing, no masks or anything like that. And these are people in the Department of Foreign Affairs, and these are supposed to be high up civil servants. Again, we pay them. That's the funniest part. We are paying them, and they seem to have a great jolly at it. Even though this is when Ireland got elected to the United Nations Security Council, and you might have been like, that's it was a good thing that Ireland did get elected, to the Security Council. You might be like, because they did bid very hard and they worked very hard, and obviously Ireland has done a lot. We will be honest with ourselves for a second. Ireland has done a lot in defence in 60 years of peacekeeping and everything like that. The defence forces has done more than any other country in Europe. In services overseas, in service of peace, in service of, in service of, basically in service of peace, what I just said. But but yeah, again, it goes back to this point. If that was you or me, if we had say if I had my birthday party, I know many people who wanted to have birthday parties, wanted to have small parties, wanted to have a few friends over during the lockdowns and things like that, because they were just sick and they were just sick of being on their own. And there was people that wanted to have weddings and things like that, and they couldn't have it. And some people I know who had a few friends over because they were sick of it. Near the end of the lockdown, the girls were at their house knocking on the door, demanding them to come outside, taking their names, making sure they knew who they were, everything like that. And this is what happened to only members of the public, only taxpayer citizens. The girls went and harassed them and basically wanted to know what to see their papers, who they were. Again, this was Ireland in 2020. That this was happening. It still happening today, even though the guards really have very little power at the moment. At the moment, again, it could change very quickly. But again, this is the thing. One rule for D, another rule for the other. But again, it's not as bad as in England, Boris Johnson. But again, we all know RTE, the national bullshit, or the national bullshit, or we're just going to call them that. They had a nice party too in OT. I said they did at Christmas because they just laugh at us. That's all they do. It's just a great laugh at the public's expense, and this is the greatest thing. Because guess who probably paid? Champagne was at this. Guess who paid for it? Was it them? No. Was Simon Coveney at it? That's the next question we need to ask. But Irish media, they're fucking not well. The Irish media. Let's be honest. Whatever about any other media, the Irish media are just not well though. Like you think the Irish media actually went and looked into this. Somebody probably leaked it. Or somebody investigated. The private citizen went off and probably investigated it and found out about this. Don't think OT or any of them went out of their way to look for and see about this. They wouldn't have reported on it. I said they've only been shamed now to report on it. That's the media now. They've been shamed into doing it. Because it's everywhere else. Like it's all over Twitter. But again, they all laugh and just having a great laugh at us. And how we couldn't have any friends of. And again, it's one rule for D, and all these should be chased up, to be totally honest. And I would go as far as saying, because people who I know some people, who opened their businesses at one stage and the guards were at their door knocking on the door, demanding them to close the business and things. Again, this is everything that happened. These people should be taken down a notch, whoever these are, because these are high up civil servants. These are not your average day like me, average Joe just going around cleaning the streets. That's the lowest of the civil service you can get into. But these are high up civil servants. These are people in the Department of Foreign Affairs, not local authority. These are people in the Department of Foreign Affairs. These are civil servants on nearly 800 euro a week, 900 euro a week. This is how much they're getting paid, and they're doing this. And they flocked everywhere, and the government said their own. And these are extremely high civil servants. Again, I hardly doubt these are average muck daily servants, the civil servants, daily servants, civil servants, same things. But it's a laugh. It's just a great laugh. The public expects to have a great laugh at us. But again, what do you expect? They do that. It's happening all the time in Leinster House. The way with the pubs closing at 8, they're probably going on to around fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. The door bar. They're probably all there drinking until 2 o'clock in the morning. Because this country, say the government do one thing and the people do the other thing, and then they just fuck off and do everything they say that's supposed to be rules and codes and regulations and everything like that. They go and break their own rules. Golf gave us a perfect example. Just broke every fucking rule in the book. The day beforehand, they even said to people not to do it, and they went off and broke every one of them themselves. And nothing happened to them. Nothing ever happened to them. And only citizens were brought up to court for it. And it seems this was the same day this is probably happening. 2 or 3 citizens were probably in court over breaking a regulation and having a few people into the house because they were sick of lockdown and they wanted to have a bit of company. Again, probably an elderly person probably let their son in. The girls probably came about 50 of them into the house, and probably God knows what they did to the poor woman. But again, this is just the fact. If I was an only citizen, the girls would be there. There'd be about 50 of them there, harassing you. Constantly harassing you. But again, where's the cops? That's the next question. Are they not around in the Parliament Foreign Affairs? So they seem to be again, that's a mass gathering. Where was the cops? Where was the police? Like who did they solve? That's the question we have to ask. But we all know who they solve. So make up your mind. Thank you.